Hello and welcome to a mix of post-commentary and in-game commentary for a 60-minute race at Snedden, where I decided to practice being a slower car in a multi-class race. Unfortunately, in these CP servers there usually aren't many slower class cars, and in this case, yeah, there were only two. But at the end of the day, in this case, thankfully it didn't matter since we had a very, very close race. So here we go up to turn 2, there's Kerfuffle on the inside. I thankfully picked the outside line, and I managed to steal away P1 from the Mercedes who had out-qualified me. As we go onwards with the rest of lap 1, which I usually show in its entirety.
Decent start. We can build something
And the also like to be the guys who were stuck in the kerfuffle will have to pass us anyway. So for your viewing pleasure, I have increased the size of the rear view mirror, so you can see more what's going on in the rear view mirror. Since being a slower class car, that is where you are looking, and also like partially at the relative, to make sure that you're not leaving a gap for a car you're actually battling. So I'm already driving with the lights on apparently. We were going, as you can see, from the dusk from the end of the day here at 7:50 PM race time, with I think at least the ×2 time progression going on. And as we go at the end of the lap, one of the weirdest corners. So I pretty much don't give him any space here, the fast GT3 car, and then I just let them have the inside line. There's number 1, there's number 2. Keep in mind that that BMW will be a problem later on, and that's Alexa's number 3. So there you go, that's lap 1 at Snedden, and let's zoom ahead to when the traffic fun starts. So about 18 minutes later of running on alone, the gap with our fellow GT4 car hovers around the same time, so we're very closely matched. Just kept the racing aside in that respect. It's just not me waiting for traffic to arrive. I'm actually still having to push because he's always close by. So P1, no biggie, get him on the back straight, so that's probably the best place to catch him. No problems there as we zoom ahead to the end of the lap. Through turn 1, I love this corner, especially in this car. You can really ride that inside curb if I can actually manage to hit the damn apex. Let him by, brake a little bit earlier,
still there.
on the inside line, and tuck him behind. And then we go onwards through this left-hander. It's a very start and stop track, which is generally not something I'm particularly good at, since I'm a little bit weak at braking. Lift off a little bit. And in this case, that's the white Porsche. By. And on our way we go to the next clip. And it's another Porsche by the looks of it, and let him by again where we let him by before. Just don't make any space. It's not really the corner to pass anybody, even if you're a slower class. So just take the corner as you normally would, and then let him by over here. It's easy to take a line. There's another Porsche catching. There's a very awkward line into here. It's not the worst, I suppose.
Clear to the left.
There we go. So there's an Aston Martin on the approach. He's blinking his lights, but he's too far back, so I was a bit afraid that he was going to do anything anyway, so I took a little bit wider line.
On your right.
A little bit by accident, but there you go. Just hesitation can probably cause problems, so just try not to hesitate too much in your actions. That will cause problem for yourself and for the other guy. But yeah, I don't think these GT3s should necessarily expect you to get out of the way at every slight little bit of trouble that comes your way. So plenty of action in the mirrors, I suppose.
There's a faster car approaching.
Again, we come at this section, we meet them here quite a bit, so it would seem. There's a little dip here. You can carry much more speed through there, just keep it wide.
On your right. Clear right.
Dive inside. So getting closer to the pit stops here. Lexus is behind me there as I go onto the straight. Keep to the right to allow him space, but he tucks into the pit lane. So yeah, here's me tinkering with the tire pressures. I was doing that quite a bit as yeah, my tire temps were dropping off quite rapidly, and at the end of the day I think I did a bit too much. Too much pressures, something like 28 plus for my second stint, which maybe is the cause from another problem that I had. So here we go. This is also one of the corners where I usually didn't want them to pass me. Just kept my line here, and then he was already going for the inside. So
hold your line.
To the left.
Clear right. You're clear.
And more tinkering with the pressures. I think I ticked it back a little bit and then back up again. So yeah, that was very indecisive, very unsure of what I had to do because of the low amount of GT4 people, driving people. Yeah, I don't do GT4s too much, unfortunately. Here comes Ferrer out the pit lane. Letting him have the turn since he still cause problems. Would have been worse for both of us. I lose a little bit of time, but like it's barely noticeable. And there you go, with a good corner you can just gain it back quite easily. So there you go. It's also the moment where our class competitor went into the pit lane. I just noticed. And I get a little message there from my friend.
Okay, Bart.
As I'm about to box, and actually used the pit stop as an opportunity to reply to the message. I cut that bit out for obvious reasons. Should probably blur that little box there.
Look out for the pit speed limit. Expect traffic on exit.
So yeah, I upped them quite a bit from the previous clip, as you can see, and which turned out to be a bit too much. So we're over halfway into the race. We're trying to get the pit stop right. Pretty good. They don't have to reposition themselves. Tire change, it's almost done. A nice little transition, and we get ready to start.
Mandatory stop is now clear. Come on, go, go, go. Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
There you go, make sure not to accidentally go over the speed limit as I shifted into second gear on the release.
There's a car approaching, stay behind the white line.
Which is something I tend to do, just automatically, like I flip it in the gear, but yeah, I get to remember that it's not actually in neutral, it's in first. Stone Cold tires, of course, no tire warmers for the GT4 class. But for the first couple of corners, it's a little bit sluggish to respond, but overall it's actually not too bad. So as you can see, the gap to our fellow competitor here is actually risen quite a bit. It's up to 7 seconds at this point. So I had a good pit stop, he had a bad tip, or he had some problems on track, which of course is also very easy to happen. So Aston was a bit too far back, so I just went for the racing line and just let him go by. I think I left a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Clear left.
Just to make sure I can get the apex properly here, because that's also a very tricky corner. Onto this one.
The gap behind is now 8.2 seconds.
And back onto the back straight we go. Tires are getting warmer and warmer as we go. Pressures will also build over the course of a lap or two in these cars. So here we go again.
You're leading.
Gap is still around 7 seconds to the guys behind, but this is the moment where trouble starts. Like two closely packed GT3 cars battling for position, also like the bit of the slower guys. So they tend to be a little bit more aggressive. Now the Ferrari goes on the outside.
Far right. Clear right.
And I'm now stuck on a position where I don't want to be. So the inside touch with the BMW, and it settles my car and my car alone, because of course it does.
Yellow flag, stay sharp.
Wouldn't be an incident with me
Incident clear. Green
if I'm
flag.
not the primary victim here. So maybe I should have lifted off a little bit more so I can keep a tighter line, but yeah, it happened. And the nice 7 to 8 second gap that I had is gone, and our little friend here is right back in my tail for the remainder of this race.
There's a car exiting pit lane.
So another guy, P1,
Faster
pitted as
car
late as he could, because you usually would do that if you're in the lead of the race. I mean, I did that on my Brand's hatch race when I was in the lead pack. Just you don't want to get stuck in traffic. And if you're in the lead, yeah, the only tactic is safely just to wait until everybody else has pitted, if possible, to make sure you don't get stuck behind a slower car and
Clear left.
lose time to the guys you're actually racing. So he did that very well. And yeah, with these faster guys at the top of the field, like they know, they seem to be behaving a lot better. I have a very shit final turn here,
Clear on the left.
which allows the Mercedes behind me to be within half a second. And another little busy boy, he's even closer now. There's barely anything between us.
Faster cars approaching.
That was a pretty cool thing. We both dealt with traffic pretty well, pretty consistently. We both had our little moments.
Clear
But
left.
overall, like, even with dealing with faster traffic, we always kept the gap relatively close to each other. So that was pretty neat.
Faster car coming up behind
And
you.
there we go again. Little warning again. Just trying to find some time through this racetrack. So onto the straight again. I just like move over to the right since he's flashing. Make sure he knows that I'm just staying here.
Left side.
Allowing
Clear
safe
left.
passage by on that side. And off he goes. And the next guy, our little gorgeous little Nissan, is already close behind. Don't have to worry about him here. And then we just do the usual thing, just
Car right.
with turning.
Clear right.
Faster car behind you.
And off we go. Leaving another guy for the straight, just pick a side, stay there,
Left side.
and you will have no problems.
That lap was a 159.00.
Lap times were also
Okay,
improving.
Bart, keep it nice and smooth. Come on.
The tire
Let the
pressures
race come
are
to us.
probably a
You're
little
now
bit
in the
too
lead.
high. Above 28, 28.6 on the left front as far as I could tell.
Right side.
And then like 28.2
Still there.
for pretty much
Clear
the
to
rest
right.
of them. Almost got collected there by the Mercedes behind as he almost outbraked himself. One does worse on the brakes than him, so he got forced wide a little bit there. Well, that will lose him a little bit of time with the white Porsche. I'm not giving him the line here. Just take my normal racing line, and then he can
Car right.
wait. I mean, it's part of multi-class
Clear to
racing. You
right.
can't pass everywhere, and as even a faster car, you should expect it. So on to the last clip, where there's a weird little glitch with the game and the fact that my lights are on, but according to the game they're not. So this guy passes me, and after
Alright.
that shot,
Clear
I
right.
shall pass you on
Gap behind is
to
now 1.7 seconds.
some
You've just,
commentary that was
158.48.
live and on track as I was driving, as I finally figured out that my microphone wasn't turned on. Into this tight little hairpin we go, and see you for the other me. So welcome to the last 10 minutes with commentary on this 1 hour Snowden race. I decided to pick the slowest car, or GT4 car, or slowest class, I should say.
There's a group of faster cars behind you. They're racing for position.
Sucks.
You're pulling away. The gap behind is now 1.5. Car left.
Dude,
Still there.
can't go anywhere, man. God damn.
Still there. Clear on the left. Right side.
Faster cars approaching.
Hold your line. Clear right. Right side. Clear. Clear to the right.
There's a faster class car behind. Okay, Bart, don't let this guy distract you.
Faster car behind you.
Right side. Clear right.
Shit.
On your right. Clear right. Car right. Clear right.
Don't give up. Keep him under pressure.
Way too late to let that fucker by. Such a waste.
Faster car behind. This
Ah.
is their class leader.
Right side. Clear right.
The gap in front has increased too.
Right side. Clear to the right.
Faster car approaching. Watch out.
There's a faster class car behind.
On your left. Clear left. On your right. Clear right.
Faster car coming up behind you.
5 minutes to go. You're looking good for a podium. There's a faster class car approaching.
Gaining on the car heading sector 2.
Car right. Clear right.
The faster car is approaching.
Blue flag.
He did the same
Left
thing.
side.
It is difficult.
Clear left.
Whew. That's fucking cool though. Glad I remembered to turn the microphone on for the last couple of minutes. Alright, a few more laps. 2 maybe for me.
You're leading. Got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Pressure loss on the right rear.
Uh-oh. Puncture. Should be okay though for the last couple of laps.
Just 2 minutes left. 2 minutes to go.
Faster car is approaching. Watch out.
That last lap was a 1:59.00.
Car right. Clear to the right.
cross the car behind you.
On your left. Still there. Clear left.
I would be surprised if you didn't have a puncture. Maybe 28 is a bit too high for these tires and they become more sensitive. Or I've been making much more mistakes in this stint. Bit worrisome that I trash a tire in half an hour, so... Woohoo! GT4 win!
Well done, Bart. Great win. You deserved that today.
Bring it back on.
God damn! Slower class, being the slower class is intense. Whew! Save that replay for posterity. Oh, don't want to quit yet. Quit replay. Yes. Alright. Race. Bye bye.